بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, how are you? I think all of you are very fine at your home by the grace of Almighty Allah. My dear students, this is Hasan Yahya, lecturer, Department of Islamic Studies, Milestone College, Dhaka. Welcome to all in Islam and Moral Education class, my dear students, and I would like to request all of you to recite the Shirk before starting our class. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad al-Nabiyyi al-Ummiyyi wa alihi wa sallim. Very good, my dear students. And we are discussing chapter 2, the first sources of Shariat al-Quran, that means Shariat, then the preservation and compilation of al-Quran. And today we will discuss on chapter 2, lesson 5, Tilawat, its importance and excellence. And inshallah next class and we will discuss on Makki Surah and Madani Surah, my dear students. This lesson is very important for your everything, my dear students. Al-Quran and the recitation from the Holy Quran, that is Tilawat, and its importance and excellence, and there are very interesting information available in today's lecture. And I want to take your attention, my dear students. Please everybody give your attention to study, give your attention to IME book, open your IME book and take your copy, take your necessary things, and especially when you get any verse, when you get any ayat, then you have to underline. Okay, my dear students, then if you want to write and note down, then you can. And when you get your exam, that time it is very helpful for you, my dear students. Okay, let's start today's lesson. Chapter 2, lesson 5. Which chapter? Chapter 2. Which lesson? Lesson 5, my dear. Lesson 5, Tilawat, its importance and excellence. You can see in your screen, the meaning of the word Tilawat is to read, recite, follow, etc. The recitation or reading of Al-Quran is called Tilawat in Islamic terminology. In Islamic terminology, again I am telling my dear students, the meaning of the word Tilawat is to read, recite, follow, etc. The recitation or reading of Al-Quran is called Tilawat in Islamic terminology, my dear students. My dear students, the majestic Quran may be read or recited from memory. Again, it may be recited visually. The visual recitation of Al-Quran is called Tilawat Nazira. Tilawat Nazira. The majestic Quran may be read or recited from memory. Again, it may be recited visually. The visual recitation of Al-Quran is called Tilawat Nazira. Tilawat Nazira. Nazira Tilawat. In our country, in the Bengali, there are a lot of people, they can say Nazira Tilawat. That means, Nazira, that means see. What is it visually? Tilawat, that means recitation. So, you can get a question in your exam, a type of question, a knowledge-based question. So, what is Tilawat Nazira? The answer is the visual recitation of Al-Quran is called Tilawat Nazira. Tilawat Nazira. Again, I am telling my dear students, the majestic Quran may be read or recited from memory. Again, it may be recited visually. The visual recitation of Al-Quran is called Tilawat Nazira. Tilawat Nazira. At the start of the learning process, Al-Quran has got to be read visually. Then harkat, letters, etc. should be identified for recitation with tasbih. Many of us have not been able to memorize the entire of Al-Quran. So we shall regularly recite the Quran with tasbih. It is also very commendable to recite Al-Quran in this visual method. Much virtue or merit may be gained from it. My dear students, Al-Quran is the word of Allah, the most great. It is a very special gift to man from Allah the Most High. It is also complete storehouse of knowledge, as it contains description of Tawhid, Risalat, Akhirat, Ibadat, etc. So also there are clear indications and reactions about the multifaceted science and knowledge essential for man's life. Considering this, a certain French scholar has rightly said, he said that Quran is an institute of science for the scientist, a glossary for the linguist, a grammar for the grammarians, and an encyclopedia for regulations, my dear students. So actually, he rightly said that Al-Quran is everything. If you want to get something from Al-Quran, you can get. If you want to be an expert in particular things, then you can get. Al-Quran is a store of knowledge. Al-Quran is a store of knowledge, my dear students. So more superficial reading of Al-Quran will be no avail. Either it has got to be studied with adequate seriousness. Its speed and significance must be realized. The topics addressed in it have got to be thought about, the researched on. In that case, we shall be able to acquire knowledge and teachings. Allah the Most High likewise has commanded to study Al-Quran with reflection and research. He says, then do they not ponder over Al-Quran, or are their hearts locked up? This ayat has been taken from Surah Muhammad, ayat 24. This ayat has been taken from Surah Muhammad, ayat 24. Have you got my point, my dear students? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants to say that just if you want to recite Holy Quran, no, you have to research, you have to realize the basic points of Al-Quran. What actually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to say. So this is very important, my dear students. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, then do they not give serious thought to the Quran, or do they have locked their hearts? Surah Muhammad, ayat 24. Ayat 24, my dear students. In another ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is a blessed book we have revealed to you, so that they deliver it in its verses, and so that the man of understanding may heed to advice. Surah Sad, ayat 29. Surah Sad, ayat 29. This ayat has been taken from Surah Sad, ayat number 29. That means this is a book full of good things. This we have sent to you, so that many understand its ayat, and the sensible person get advice from it. Have you understood, my dear students? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Holy Quran. In very next ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you can see in your screen, in Surah Al-Qamar, ayat 22. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. Indeed, we have made the Quran easy for seeking advice. So is there one to heed to the advice? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, surely we have indeed Al-Quran easy to understand. So are there any research of advice? Surah Al-Qamar, ayat 22nd. Ayat 22nd, my dear students. Therefore, Al-Quran should be studied with understanding, reflection, and research. Such a study will help to realize the teachings and advice of Al-Quran. Alongside reflection and research, it is very necessary to read the Quran correctly and nicely. An incorrect and unimpressive recitation of Al-Quran brings sin with it. Prayer cannot be faultless if the tilawat is incorrect and indecent, my dear students. My dear students, the method of correct and nice recitation of Al-Quran is termed as tasbih. The method of correct and nice recitation of Al-Quran is termed as tasbih. What is tasbih, my dear students? You can see in your screen. The method of correct and nice recitation of Al-Quran is termed as tasbih. We learn the various rules of tasbih in the previous classes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded the recitation of Al-Quran with tasbih. He says, وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Muzammil, ayat 4, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and recite the Quran clearly with tartil, in a distinct and measured tone. That means, which letter, which mad, which guna is accurate, we have to do accurate. Prophet Muhammad said, لَيْسَ مِنَّا مَنْ لَمْ يَتَغَنَّ بِالْقُرْآنِ. One who does not recite Al-Quran in a sweet tone or voice is not of us. This means that such a person is not set on the principle of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This hadith has been taken from Bukhari Sharif. This hadith has been taken from Bukhari Sharif, my dear students. In fact, Rasulullah used to recite Al-Quran with tasbih in a sweet voice. We too shall try to recite Al-Quran correctly and nicely. The merit of the recitation of Al-Quran is very high. The recitation of each words brings reward. Our extremely kind Prophet Muhammad said, من قرأ حرفا من كتاب الله فله به حسنة والحسنة بعشر أمثالها. A man reciting even a single letter of the book of Allah will earn a reward, and this reward is tenfold. This hadith has been taken from Tirmidhi Sharif. This hadith has been taken from which, my dear students, this hadith has been taken from Tirmidhi Sharif, my dear students. So, a man reciting even a single letter of the book of Allah will earn a reward, and this reward is tenfold. Okay, we have to recite more and more. Always we have to recite the Holy Quran correctly and nicely. Otherwise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not feel happy. In fact, recitation of Al-Quran is an excellent worship. Rasulullah says, أفضل عبادة أمتي قراءة القرآن. The best worship for my followers is the recitation of Al-Quran. This hadith has been taken from Bayhaqi Sharif. This hadith has been taken from Bayhaqi Sharif. أفضل عبادة أمتي قراءة القرآن. The best worship for my followers is the recitation of Al-Quran. Bayhaqi. This verse has been taken from, this hadith has been taken from Bayhaqi Sharif, my dear students. Al-Quran is nur or light. It elevates the rank of its reciter. A servant of Allah gets his pleasure and intimacy. The heart of man becomes pure by it. Man becomes illuminated with moral and human quality. Rasulullah says, these hearts of man become rusted as iron rust with water. He was asked thus, O the Messenger of Allah, what is its purifier? He replied, constant remembrance of death and profuse recitation of Al-Quran. This hadith has been taken from Bayhaqi Sharif. Very interesting thing is that, my dear students, a man succeeds in both here and the hereafter by reciting Al-Quran befittingly. Man becomes highly honored and dignified by correct and nice recitation of Al-Quran and translating its spirit in his deeds. My dear students, you know, our Holy Prophet Muhammad said, a person who recites Al-Quran and acts accordingly, his parents will be decked with crowns brighter than the sun. Subhanallah. A person who recites Al-Quran and acts accordingly, his parents will be decked with crowns brighter than the sun. Ahmad and Abu Dawud. Ahmad and Abu Dawud. So if you recite Holy Quran properly, correctly, then your parents will get this reward, my dear students. Okay, now you can see on screen the background or revelation. Background or revelation, that means Shan and Nuzul. That means Shan and Nuzul. Shan literally means conditions, status, cause, even background. So Shan and Nuzul means the cause or background of revelation. Shan and Nuzul means the cause or background of revelation. In the Islamic parlance, the cause or background of the revelation of the surah or ayat of Al-Quran is called Shan and Nuzul. It is also called Sabal and Nuzul. Sabal and Nuzul. Sabal Nuzul. My dear students, Al-Quran was not revealed to Holy Prophet Muhammad's lamp. Rather, it had been revealed in a response to the demerge bit by bit over a period of 23 years. Over a period of 23 years. These fragments used to be revealed to provide a legal reactions of some incidents. To solve, there are a lot of problems, my dear students. The incident or situation is called, for the revelation of an ayat or surah, is called the Shan Nuzul of the ayat or surah. My dear students, there are the benefits of knowing the Shan Nuzul are many. Mentionable among these are the mystery of the introduction of the Shariat can be known by it. The meaning, purpose, and right spirit of an ayat can be known. My dear students, we have understood what is Tilawat, its importance and excellence. What is the meaning of Tilawat? What is the Nazira Tilawat? What Allah SWT said in the Holy Quran about the recitation of the Holy Quran. What actually Prophet Muhammad said in Hadith Sharif about the recitation of the Holy Quran. And the background, that means the Shan Nuzul. So, if you want to get good marks in exam, then you have to realize the main topic. You have to realize the main idea of any lecture. So, I think already you got some verses, you got some hadith. So, if you remember, if you memorize, then it's very good. And if you can't remember, then minimum you have to memorize the meaning of verse. You have to memorize the meaning of hadith. So you can underline from which surah this verse has been taken, from which hadith book this hadith has been taken, then what actually the meaning of Shan Nuzul, or what is the definition of Nazira Tilawat, Shan Nuzul, Tilawat. So these are basic points, my dear students. You will get a creative question in your exam from chapter 2 or lesson 1 to 5, the Shariat, then the first source of Shariat, then the preservation and compilation of Holy Quran, then the Makki and Madani Surah, then the Tilawat, importance and its excellence, my dear students. Okay, my dear students, no more today. If you have any question, let me know in your WhatsApp group, or you can inbox me, or 100% you have to comment in your sections name, your code name in comment box, my dear students. If you missed any previous class, then go to link and you get all classes, my dear students. No more today. May Allah bless us all. Thank you so much, my dear students. Try to respect your teachers, try to respect your parents, try to perform salat regularly, and most important thing is don't forget to recite Durood Sharif more and more. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.